Hello, calculus fans. Okay, so at this point, we've developed a way of differentiating sums, differences, and products. And what we want to do now is show how to differentiate a quotient. Now, when we talked about the product rule, we showed that if you want to differentiate the product, you can't just differentiate each piece and multiply. So same thing with dividing. If you have a quotient, you cannot just differentiate the top and the bottom separately. So sorry to say, the actual formula is going to be a little bit more complicated. All right, so here it is. This is the quotient rule. So if you have two functions which are differentiable, f and g, then the derivative of f of x over g of x is this whole expression. G of x times the derivative of f of x minus f of x times the derivative of g of x all over g of x squared. Now that's kind of a long thing, so I'm going to show you a nice mnemonic device. So a mnemonic device is just a little memory trick for remembering a formula like this. So let's say you want to differentiate f of x over g of x. Then I'm going to give some names to the parts of the fraction, the f of x and the g of x. So f of x is high, g of x is low, because in the fraction it's the high part and the low part. Then we can rewrite the rule that look like this. Instead of saying that we're going to differentiate f of x over g of x, we're going to differentiate high over low. And so what we should see now is the g of x, for instance, the beginning of the formula here is low. And then the derivative of f of x is d high. So when I write d high, what we mean is the derivative of the thing on top. And so you should try to see that everything in the formula matches up with this little mnemonic device. And the way I'm going to say it is low d high minus high d low, square the bottom, and away we go. You see, it's got to rhyme. Here, let's say it again. Low d high minus high d low, square the bottom, and away we go. The low and the go have to rhyme. Well, look, I don't care if you use that rhyme or some other rhyme or you just memorize the formula, but you do have to have some way of trying to remember this formula. Okay, so as I mentioned before, I'm using the Euler notation to indicate the derivative of the top and the derivative of the bottom in the formula. So f of x is the high function, g of x is the low function. Low d high minus high d low, square the bottom, and away we go. And that's all for now.